The Cleveland Browns have made their final decisions, and yesterday, the Cleveland Browns decided to trade Kenny Pickett, quarterback, to the Las Vegas Raiders for, I believe it was a fifth round pick, a 2026 fifth round pick. Now, with that decision by the Cleveland Browns, it pretty much guaranteed that Shedeur Sanders would make the Cleveland Browns roster, and it seems like it's been official today that he is on the 53-man roster. Now, does that mean that he'll suit up? Does that mean he'll be the backup? That remains to be seen, or will it be Dylan Gabriel? The starter will be Joe Flacco. Deshaun Watson is on the injured reserve. So, really, the biggest question now is if Shedeur will be the third string quarterback or the backup quarterback. Really, that's what it comes down to because he has officially made the team and will be a part of the Cleveland Browns. So if you watch your Shedeur Sanders jerseys, you can still wear them because he has not been cut. The same cannot be said for brother Shiloh Sanders, who was cut by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He threw a punch in a game, the last game they played, and was ejected from the game after throwing a punch at Zach Davidson from the Buffalo Bills. But is that why Shiloh Sanders got ejected? Remains to be seen. I think it was always a long shot for Shiloh Sanders to make the Bucks. He was an undrafted player. For lack of better words, he's an old rookie. He's 25 years old, I believe is the case right now, or about to be 25. I think he's already 25 years old. So he's 25 years old. So he's someone that already was past expiration date when it comes to a rookie playing defensive back. He never was that good of a defensive back. He was in college for 6 years. He went to South Carolina, then went to Jackson State, then finally Colorado. Very well documented that he's kind of a sports center looking for a highlight, headhunter type of player, and not necessarily very fundamentally sound. Does it mean he won't get picked up by some other team? Potentially, yeah. I mean, there's a possibility. But when it came down to Shedeur and Shiloh, Shedeur clearly is the better player with the higher ceiling. I can't say I am not surprised. I can't say I'm surprised about Shiloh Sanders not making the Bucks. I didn't expect him to make that team. I thought the Shedeur conversation was definitely one that needed to be had because, look, end of the day, he was a really good quarterback in college. People can knock him and take shots at him. And I've been critical of Shedeur Sanders. I think his attitude sucks. I've never liked the way he carried himself as a player. I thought he was an arrogant, pompous, you know, just a spoiled brat kid who came up from money, no different than any spoiled white kid. He was a spoiled black kid who did whatever he wanted. There were no rules that applied to him and he could do whatever he wanted on the football field, off the football field. The rules never applied. His behavior on the field with the watch taunting of a coach and the nonstop nonsense that he would do, during and after games. Never had a great deal of respect for it. But at the end of the day, he is a talented quarterback. And people who think that, oh, he may not have this or he may not have that, or yeah, he would drag plays on, and yes, those plays in the NFL will turn into sacks more than likely. Can't do in college what he did in college and do that in NFL and get away with it. You're probably getting up on your back. That said, he throws a rather crisp ball. I've seen him fit balls into windows that I can't believe he made those throws. Great throws, and to sit here and say he doesn't belong in the NFL, I won't go that direction. I think he is a player who certainly is a top 64 quarterback in the NFL. I don't think he's a third string level quarterback. I think he's at least a backup. And I think the biggest problem with Shedeur when it comes down to it, and this is just a matter of will he change his ways? Will he adjust his behavior? Will he become an adult, become a man, or will he keep doing the dumb stuff that spoiled children do? pulled over twice for what? I mean, 100 plus miles an hour, major speeding violations. Yes, people speed. Going 80 in a 65 is one thing. Going 110 in a 65 is something completely different. You know, so and that happens all while he's in Cleveland. There's just too much. He's a backup quarterback, 5th round pick, who is in the news way too much. And for most locker rooms, they don't want to have someone who attracts attention, who happens to be their backup or even their third string quarterback. I mean, realistically, Shedeur Sanders will probably be the third string quarterback. So to have him have all this attention because of his antics, for most football teams, they don't want to deal with that crap. For most players who are getting paid to play football, they don't want to deal with that type of stuff from teammates. Again, I think Shedeur Sanders can play football. I do. Again, I've been critical, but I think he can play football. I think he makes some throws that a lot of guys can't make. I think he's able to extend plays. Again, does that work in the NFL? Plenty of quarterbacks extend plays all the time. So, he's not an overly athletic guy. He's not like some world class athlete, but I think he's a player that can make it in the NFL. I think what it comes down to with Shedeur Sanders is his attitude. Will he do the work? Now, there was some things that popped off during camp where he had a commentator or a sports radio guy in Cleveland trash him a bit. I thought that was completely inappropriate by that guy. Realistically, you're talking about he was criticizing him for having his elbow be sore because he wasn't getting reps in practice. So he practiced before and he practiced after. So we're criticizing someone now for putting in more work because he's not getting the reps in practice. I thought that shit was completely out of bounds by that guy. Even his own colleague kind of went off like, "What are you talking about, bro? Like this guy is getting criticized now for working hard. Does that make any fucking sense? You're criticizing him for working hard. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but he's gonna catch flack for things that he doesn't deserve to catch flack for, but he's also gonna catch flack for things that he does. The reality is he needs to clean up what he does off the field. He needs to clean up antics on the field and just be a professional. He can't flash watches in people's faces. That image will never go away. That shit to a coach will never go away. The only way it can be removed is to see behavior change. Do not be the focal point of attention. You're a backup or a third stringer. Nobody really cares about you. Focus on doing your job. Focus on becoming a better player. Focus on becoming a student of the game, which clearly he wasn't that in the eyes of the team of all these teams because they did not draft him. They didn't draft him. End of story. So many teams passed up on this guy, even though he was projected to be a top 10 pick. But his attitude in meetings with teams in the pre-draft, disastrous. His attitude even in his draft party, ridiculous. Just everything involving the way he carries himself needs to be adjusted. If he wants to play professional football, he needs to adjust these things. But for right now, he's a member of the Cleveland Browns. He's a member of the Cleveland Browns. The opportunity is his, and he has the chance to make the most of it, whether it's in Cleveland or somewhere else at some other point. He has an opportunity. Now it's a matter of what he does with it. What are y'all thoughts of Shedeur Sanders making the Cleveland Browns roster? Were you surprised that Kenny Pickett got traded? Because I think once that happened, that guaranteed Shedeur Sanders a roster spot. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. Football starts this weekend. It's already started for college. We got college football all weekend. NFL is a week out. Football time, baby. Let's go. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. This is Pro Football Corner. Powered by Come On Now, the podcast. Come on now.